No data, no problem. Zabu allows you to buy or sell securities on the Altex exchange from anywhere in Uganda via USSD. Step 1. To buy, dial *292#. Step 2. Select buy. Step 3. Select the product you would like to buy. For example, bonds. Step 4. Select your preferred maturity year. Step 5. Select the bond you would like to buy. Step 6. Input an amount of 15,000 Ugandan shillings or more. Step 7. Your order has been forwarded for processing. And finally, Step 8. Your order has been confirmed.
Welcome back from that short commercial break, and we'll pick up from where we stopped exactly. Looking at Stanbic Bank Uganda's stock market performance, the SBU actually has had some impressive gains in the past, especially this year. From January 1st, it has gained around 57.1%. What's behind this remarkable performance, Victor?
Well, the strong performance of Stanbic Bank Uganda is undoubtedly catching the eye of investors. Well, a gain of 57.1% year to date is indeed impressive, and such performance can be attributed to a range of factors, including the bank's financial results. We are looking at market sentiment, broader economic conditions, and so much more. But investors may have reacted positively to the bank's operations, and profit growth, or perhaps announcements related to dividends or expansion plans. It's also important to remember that the stock market in general has experienced gains this year. So Stanbic Bank Uganda's strong performance is part of that broader trend.
Exactly, and it's actually a significant gain. It shows that the opportunities exist on the stock market. For our viewers who might be considering investing in Stanbic Bank Uganda, what advice could you offer them?
First and foremost, it is essential. It is essential for potential investors to do their do their due diligence, because this means thoroughly researching the bank, understanding its financial health, and evaluating its future prospects. It's also wise to consider the bank's historical performance and track record. Diversification is key, so don't pull all your investment funds into a single stock, no matter how attractive it may seem. And additionally, consider consulting a financial advisor as usual to ensure your investment aligns with your financial goals and risk tolerance.
Exactly, and diversification and expert advice are vital in the world of investments. Now let's discuss the stock's recent performance. In the past month, actually, SBU gained 10% over 3 months. This gained an impressive 26.9%. What's driving these short-term gains, Victor?
Short-term gains often reflect a combination of factors, and positive news, earning reports, and overall market sentiment can influence short-term movements. But it's important for investors to keep an eye on company news and events that may impact the stock. And additionally, the broader economic environment plays a major role. And in recent times, we've seen some positive trends in the market that have benefited the Stanbic Bank stock.
Interesting, and it's actually fascinating to see how various factors can actually influence short-term stock movements. Lastly, we see that Stanbic Bank Uganda has the second most traded stock on the Uganda Securities Exchange over the past 3 months. Could you explain what the high volume trade signifies?
Well, as you are seeing, as of Tuesday, their stock still stands at a 33 Ugandan shillings share price. So high trading volume suggests that there's a significant level of interest and activity surrounding Stanbic Bank shares, and this can be due to various factors, as mentioned. But of course, to mention but a few, like we're talking new releases, company events, or general market enthusiasm, and the high trading volume provides liquidity, which means it's easier for investors to buy or sell shares quickly. And however, it's essential to recognize that high trading volumes can also introduce volatility, so investors should be cautious and make well-informed decisions.
Thank you, Victor, for shedding light on the significance of the high trading volume. It's been an insightful discussion about Stanbic Bank and its history and its market performance. Could we move to a National Media Group?
Well, today we decided to shine some light on the Nation Media Group, and it is actually exciting to discuss such a prominent player in the media industry. And starting with a brief introduction, this company is listed on the Uganda Securities Exchange with a ticker symbol of NMG. And so, Gloria, could you tell us what it means for a media company to be publicly listed, and how it impacts their operations generally?
Absolutely, Victor. When a media company like National Media Group is publicly listed, it means that its shares are available for trading on the stock exchange. This listing provides several advantages. It allows the company to raise capital by selling its shares to the public, which can be used for expansion, investments, and other strategic initiatives. It also enhances the company's transparency and governmental standards, actually. So it's required to meet the regulatory and reporting standards. Being publicly listed can also boost the company's visibility and reputation, which can be beneficial in high competitive media industry.
So it's not just about raising capital, it also has an impact on their reputation and how they operate.
That's right, Victor. A public listing often is seen a mark of credibility. Actually, it can both attract investors and advertisers.
Well, Nation Media Group is currently the 14th most valuable stock on the Uganda Securities Exchange, and with a market capitalization of 95.4 billion Ugandan shillings. Can you explain what market capitalization represents and its significance in assessing the company's position in the market?
Of course, Victor. Market capitalization is actually a critical metric that reflects the total revenue of the company's outstanding shares. In this case, National Media Group's market capitalization stands at 95.4 billion Ugandan shillings, representing the cumulative value of all the company's shares that are available for trading on the Uganda Securities Exchange. Is calculated by actually multiplying the share price by the total number of shares outstanding. So market capitalization is significant because it provides insights on the company's size and its importance within the market. In this case, National Media Group represents about 0.592% of the entire USE equity market.
Well, as represented before you, we are seeing shares outstanding at 189 million Ugandan shillings, and seeing market capitalization, as we've mentioned before, at 95.4 billion. So it's fascinating to see how this figure can give us a snapshot of where a company stands. And diving into the company's stock performance, NMG's share price has shown some positive signs lately, and it gained 0.71% in the most recent trading session, which is as of yesterday. And what might be behind this upward movement, Gloria?
The 0.71% gain in National Media Group's share price is a positive sign, Victor. These short-term movements can be influenced by a range of factors, as positive news releases, we have financial results, or broader market segment. So investors have reacted to National Media Group's operations, profit growth, or developments within the media industry. It's actually important to remember that the stock prices are actually influenced by a mix of the company's specific and market-wide factors.
Considering that reminder, that is supposed to remind us that various factors can influence these stock prices. So make it an this makes it an ever dynamic field for our viewers who might be interested in the Nation Media Group stock. So for those considering investing in the Nation Media Group or any other stock, I would recommend conducting thorough research. Understand the company's financial health, its track record, and growth aspects or prospects. It's also essential to diversify your portfolio. This is, of course, to manage your risk. And Keeping an eye on news and developments related to Nation Media Group is also essential, as these can actually influence the stock prices. And lastly, consider consulting a financial advisor as usual, because this is going to help you very, very much with in terms of financial goals and risk tolerance.
Exactly, and allow me to say it again, diversification and expert guidance are certainly key elements in investing wisely. So looking at the stock's recent performance over the time frames, looking like the past year, National Media Group's stock price has shown consistent gains. We have a 57 actually 0.1% increase. What could be contributing to this impressive year-to-year gain?
Well, several factors could be driving this performance, and the Nation Media Group's financial results, we're looking at operational efficiency, we're looking at strategic decisions, where they're likely to influence investor sentiment positively. But additionally, the media industry itself may be experiencing growth, and the Nation Media Group's position within that industry could be benefiting from broader trends. Investors are often attracted to stocks that demonstrate consistent growth, and Nation Media Group appears to be delivering on that front.
It's encouraging to see such strong performance from National Media Group, Victor. So I noticed that National Media Group is actually the second most traded stock on the Uganda Securities Exchange over the past 3 months. What does this high trading volume represent?
Well, a high trading volume suggests that there's a significant level of interest and activity around their shares. So this can be due to various factors, as mentioned, but as this is a media group, we're looking at many more like media industry news or a broader market. We're looking at release of company results and, of course, enthusiasm of buyers of these shares. But the high trading volume provides liquidity, which means it's easier for investors to buy or sell shares quickly. However, high trading volumes can also introduce volatility, so investors, as usual, have to be prepared, they have to be ready.
Exactly, and it's essential for them to be aware of how trading volume can actually impact the stock's behavior. Thank you, Victor, for shedding light on National Media Group. So crossing over to our neighboring country, Kenya, and looking at the stock market performance on the Nairobi Securities Exchange, what do you have for us from there?
Well, diving into details, of course, it is always an honor to discuss the Nairobi Securities Exchange or Stock Exchange. It's also, let's take time to highlight that it is one of the performing stock exchanges on the continent. And diving into details, at the close of yesterday, we saw a total of 4,807,300 shares, and they were traded in 865 deals. This is leaving us with a market value of 75,039,065 Kenyan shillings, and of course that's a 43% increase in volume compared to the previous trading session.
That's quite a significant uptick, and it seems that the market might actually be bustling. In terms of value, we are looking at 82% improvement in turnover, totaling to around 75 million Kenyan shillings. And in deal count, we are having around 14% improvement. The Nairobi Securities Exchange is showing real activity.
Absolutely. And now when we look at individual stocks, East African Portland Cement Company took the lead among gainers with an 8.4% share price appreciation, closing at 8 Kenyan shillings per share.
Impressive. Other gainers actually include Unga Group. We also have Nairobi Business Ventures. We have Crown Painters Kenya, and on the flip side, Longhorn Publishers actually experienced a price depreciation of around 8.52%, closing at 2.47 per share Kenyan shillings.
Yes, and among the top traded stocks, we are seeing Kenyan Power and Lighting Company that took the lead with 1.22 million traded shares. This is followed closely by Equity Group Holdings, Safaricom, and KCB Group.
And now moving on to the market indices, the benchmark all-share index actually closed at around 93.26, showing a slight decrease of 0.1%, contributing to a one-week loss of 0.36%, a four-week loss of 5.43%, and an overall year-to-date loss of 26.84%.
Interesting dynamics there. And we saw positive movements in other indices like the Nairobi Securities Exchange 10 share index. We're looking at the 20 share index and the 25 share index, which each with its own story to tell.
Exactly, and looking into the Nairobi All-Share Index, Victor, experiencing that year-to-date loss despite the market activity you mentioned. Could you give us more insights about it?
Well, the Nairobi Securities All-Share Index represents a broad view of the entire market, and it is influenced by collective performance of many companies. Even if some stocks are doing well, others might not be. So this can lead to an overall loss for the index. So it is essential for investors to dig deeper into individual stocks and sectors to, of course, understand what's driving these movements.
Exactly, and sometimes broader economic factors can also affect the index. Changes in interest rates, inflation, or government policies can have all an impact there.
Well, I noticed Kenya Power and Lighting Company being a key utility company in Kenya. It often draws attention from both retail and institutional investors. So it's considered a defensive stock because people continue to use electricity even during economic downtowns. So when there's positive news or interest in the energy sector, it tends to attract significant trading volume.
Additionally, news related to power or energy prices or companies' financial performance can have factors that can influence the trading activity.
Well, it's intriguing that Longhorn Publishers experienced a significant price depreciation. Is there a particular reason for this drop?
Longhorn Publishers stock could be influenced by various factors, Victor. It's important to keep in mind that the stock market is sensitive to news, actually. Any negative developments related to the company's financials, operations, or any educational sector in general could lead to a drop in its share price.
Certainly. Well, sometimes a single piece of news, like changes in government education policies or financial results, can heavily affect the company's stock. This is why investors must conduct thorough research and stay updated on developments in the sector they invest in. Exactly,
Victor. Could you provide more insight on the recent movements of East African Portland Cement that led there around 8.4% share price appreciation?
According to the East African Portland Cement performance, they could have benefited from various factors, and judging from their performance over the year, if you've accessed the curve and seen the way that the trend is moving, there is quite some performance. But it might have reported positive financial results and made strategic announcements that boosted investor confidence. But additionally, an increase in construction or infrastructure projects in the region can lead to higher demand for cement and in turn a higher share price for cement companies.
Moreover, sometimes market segment plays a role. Positive news can actually create a buying frenzy where more investors rush to possess the course and driving into the price tag.
So what's your take on the year-to-date loss? Because it's of 26.84% in the Nairobi Securities Exchange All-Share Index. Any information on that?
Well, it's essential to consider the Nairobi All-Share Index in a long-term measure, reflecting the market's performance since the beginning of the year. This negative year-to-date return actually indicates that Kenya's stock market has faced headwinds and challenges in 2023. Factors like economic conditions, interest rate changes, and global events could be having an impact on this one.
It's also worth mentioning that the stock market can be cyclical, and with periods of gains and losses, investors should have a diversified strategy to navigate through these changes.
Exactly, and given the market's dynamics that you discussed, Victor, what sectors or industries are currently standing out on the Nairobi Securities Exchange?
Great question. Certain sectors like telecommunications with Safaricom and the banking sector have shown resilience. These sectors often reflect essential services and can be more resilient during economic uncertainties.
And healthcare, technology, and renewable energy stocks are also getting the attention globally, and developments in these areas actually can influence the market.
As always, it is crucial for investors to do their research and consider their financial goals and risk tolerance when selecting sectors or industries to invest in.
Exactly. So could you explain the significance of the Nairobi Securities Exchange 10-share index and the 20-share index plus the 25-share index?
Well, the Nairobi Securities 10-share index, or NSE 10-share index, and NSE 20-share index, NSE 25-share index, they're all subsets of a broader NSE all-share index. And each of these indices include a different number of the largest and the most liquid companies in the exchange.
The idea is to provide investors with a snapshot of the performance of these different segments on the market. So the Nairobi All-Share Index actually, for example, focuses on the top 20 companies. These indices can actually help investors to gauge how many different segments of the markets are performing.
So if you are particularly interested in larger or smaller companies, these indices can give you a more focused view of their performance.
With all this information, what would you recommend for investors looking to enter the Nairobi Securities Exchange for the first time?
If you're new to Nairobi Securities Exchange, I recommend starting with some foundational steps. First, educate yourself about the basis of investing, such as understanding financial statements and risk management and how the stock market operates.
And diversification, again, is the key. Don't pull all your funds in one stock or one sector. Consider a balanced portfolio.
And additionally, research the companies you're interested in and stay informed about the company. If you're uncertain, you might also consider consulting with a financial advisor who can provide personalized guidance on those particular companies.
Interesting. And you should always be mindful of your financial goals and risk tolerance. Investment should align with your long-term objectives.
Well, that's excellent advice. And remember, investing is a long-term journey. Patience and discipline often lead to the best outcomes.
Thank you for that insight. So how frequently do you recommend checking one's investment portfolio?
Regular monitoring of your portfolio is important. I just can't stress this enough, but the frequency can vary based on your investment goals and risk tolerance, of course.
And for all long-term investors, quarterly or semi-annual reviews are often sufficient. For those who prefer a more active approach, actually, monthly check-ins could make sense.
Well, additionally, major life events like changes in your financial situations or objectives might prompt you to review your portfolio more frequently.
Exactly, and not forgetting to stay informed about all the market conditions. That is very crucial.
So it's not just about how you often check, but what you look for during these reviews.
Exactly, and looking up to Nairobi Securities Exchange, we could give our viewers an insight about one of our top gainers, Victor. What do you have for us?
Well, looking at, we have already discussed East African Portland Cement, which according to the information came up as the top gainer with 8.4% share price appreciation. But closely followed was Unga Group with an appreciation of 7.14%. And Unga Group Limited is a Kenya-based holding company. The company has two business segments, namely consumer and animal nutrition and health. The consumer segment produces products for human consumption, and animal the animal nutrition and health segment produces animal feed and mineral supplement products, and of course distributes products for animal health. But moving on to its overall performance, Gloria, what do you have for us regarding share price?
Well, looking onto Unga Group's share price, we have a lot from them, considering they close at around 15.00 Kenyan shillings per price share on the Nairobi Securities Exchange, recording a 7.1% gain over its previous closing share price, which was 14.00 Kenyan shillings. So we'll be back with more updates concerning Unga Group and other two companies from the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Thank you.
No data, no problem. Zabu allows you to buy or sell securities on the Altex exchange from anywhere in Uganda via USSD. Step 1. To buy, dial *292#. Step 2. Select buy. Step 3. Select the product you would like to buy. For example, bonds. Step 4. Select your preferred maturity year. Step 5. Select the bond you would like to buy. Step 6. Input an amount of 15,000 Ugandan shillings or more. Step 7. Your order has been forwarded for processing. And finally, Step 8. Your order has been confirmed.